Okay. Shout out to Patricia. We got Patricia in here. Okay. You already know. We got Isaac in here. We got Starling in here. Okay. My young Dominican brother in here. You did? Texas in the house. Somehow he still got light. You know,
For
I can't
real,
hear
man.
nothing,
For
bro.
real. We didn't have power for like for 3 days. Insane, bro. Insane.
Us Dominicans, we used to that. Se fue la luz. Everybody, you imagine here in the U.S., everybody
Nah,
starts screaming, "Yeah, se fue la
yeah,
luz!" Like,
yeah. In DR, bro, we used to, be without power for like a whole week. But out here, bro, you are without power. You call us hell, man. You call us hell.
people
Texas,
struggling. People's like, "Yo, hold on, somebody got
bro,
to better turn this light on." Right?
man.
Dominicans is like, "We used to this."
Nah, it was like the end of the world, bro. Texas is something else, man. You're lucky. You're lucky that you didn't move here.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Let me see who else we got in here. We got Peter in here. Shout out to Peter. What's good, Peter? Okay. I don't know if Peter even made it to the last one. I think he's in Texas too. So shout out to him. But yeah, man. And please, for the next one, guys, bring your camera. Turn on your cameras. Okay, you can turn on your camera. This is for the peoples. You're amongst friends. Dudes is in here like, hold on, I don't look pretty today. I ain't got to shape up and this and that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Turn your camera on, man. You're amongst friends, man. What's the worst that can happen? You become a meme? Like, you get what I'm saying? Some dudes like, someone take your picture off the internet. Now you're a meme, right? So that's the worst that could happen. But shout out to everybody in here, man. So, all right, guys. So let's look at the project that basically the interns were working on this week. I gave them a task. I said, hey man, we're gonna build an e-commerce website. We're gonna use Fashion Nova as a basically as an inspiration, right? And we're gonna be creating a theme that is geared towards fashion and clothing, etc. And basically learn a lot of the different things and features that Fashion Nova already has. If you guys never heard of this website, I don't know what you're doing with yourself. I don't think you're on Instagram, but let's share this real quick for the people so they could know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, because some people it's international, you know what I mean? Where they at, they don't, they're not looking at the baddies like that, you know? Okay, so let's get into it. All right, let me share the screen. Screen one. And there we go. Okay. So this is Fashion Nova, guys. All right. So Fashion Nova is an e-commerce website. They basically it's like drop shipping, right? They make their own clothes, right? At the same time, again, you're gonna see a couple of baddies for those of you guys, feed the eyes. You know what I mean? This is your time to eat. Okay. Some of you guys are starving right now. This is the time for you guys to eat. Okay. But again, it's a great website. It's very simple. It has a lot of features like this, pop-ups that basically gets the person's email. Okay, they tell you, hey, you're gonna get 30% off if you give us your email, etc., etc. Right? Like you see here, I will pay full price. It's like I don't want to pay full price. So you put in your emails, etc., etc. Like there's a lot of stuff that you can learn from Fashion Nova because it works. If they're doing this, is because it actually works. Some of us as developers, we look at this, it's like people actually put their emails on that. And it's like, yeah, it works, bro. This is why this company is one of the top companies on Shopify. All right. So basically, as you can see, it has a couple of little hover effects here and there. There's a couple of pages like collections. There's different menus, right? Things like that. Of course, the website is responsive, so you will see that the website is responsive. Okay, so it's a nice website. So I say, you know what? Let me give this task to the interns and see what they could come up with. See what they could come up with. And at the same time, I didn't give them a design. I just said, hey man, look at the features that they have here on Fashion Nova, right? Create your own version of this, right? And then from there, we're gonna go in and build this into a Shopify theme. Now, what were the requirements, right? So let's pull up Asana real quick. So those of you guys that never heard of Asana, you guys can go and sign up for Asana. Asana is actually free, so it gives you a lot of features for you to even manage your projects. And even if you're working in a team, this is what you should be using. Some people, they use Trello, they use freaking Basecamp, they use a whole bunch of different things. Free Camp. It's up to you what you want to use, but you should always use a project management application so you could be on top of everything, right? So if we go into here, let me see, where is it? Kickoff meeting, know your client, requirements. All right. We're basically creating a static site with Next.js, right? A site needs to be organized, folder structure, technologies you must use, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, SAS, BEM for the classes, and basically to organize your HTML, CSS. Use Bootstrap, use CSS variables, use GitHub, make site responsive. Okay, export files, deploy website to Netlify, and that's pretty much it. Okay, it's a good start, right? The whole project was to make sure that all of these guys get acquainted with each other, they understand how to work together, and make sure that they get that experience of working together and doing everything through Git, right? Connect through GitHub. There's a lot of things that I know they probably learned on this experience. So we're gonna get into it, right? So let me go in and show you guys exactly what they came up with, which is actually pretty damn good, right? Like, I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty damn good, especially considering that they didn't have a design. There was no designer that came in and said, hey guys, we already have the design for you, right? Like, this was just straight off, their own creation, and just coming up with their own ideas, and mixing it up with what Fashion Nova already has, and just coming up with their own flow, right? So again, it's pretty nice. I like the menu. Everything works exactly how it's supposed to. The website is responsive. There's definitely going to be a couple of little tweaks here and there that they're going to hash it out this week, but the website is looking pretty damn nice. Okay, it's a nice e-commerce website, exactly what we needed for this project. There's also a couple of other pages in here. Let me see if I pull up. Let me see, it's the blog page, so /blog. Okay, so right here you have the blogs, right? So this is like your blog index page. Then from there you have your blog page itself. Okay, so I'm guessing like that. There we go. It's actually pretty nice. They have a leave comment section. Let's say the collections. Okay, I really like how this came out here. This collection page is pretty legit. I really like it. Let's see. Got a section here for the sizes. Got a section here for the colors, for the price. It also has the same effect of when you hover on top of this. Okay, you're basically getting that side view of the actual product. So pretty nice. Let me see what else. Do we have a contact page? Okay, nice. I like it. Pretty good, pretty good. Let me see the product page. I actually haven't checked out a lot of these pages. Like, I kind of skimmed through it, but I know they've been adding new things every day, so I'm pretty sure there's a lot of cool stuff in here. Okay, I like this. Nice. Got the pants waist, basically the size, the type. Okay, got the color, got the quantity, got the add to cart, the buy now. Let me see. Freedom T-shirt, Stretch Echo. Okay, nice, 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 nice. Also bought, right? So related items. Pretty nice, guys. Okay, and it's the website responsive. Moment of truth. Okay, there we go. All right, cool. Not bad, not bad. Definitely got to work a little something here on the on the footer, but everything else I've seen so far has been pretty legit. Okay, so the project's looking nice, guys. What you guys think? Let me know. Let me know what people are putting on the chat. What you guys think?
The project's looking nice, guys. What you guys think? Let me know. Let me know what people
By
are
the way, if you got the mic,
chat.
mute your mic, please. I
Alex,
can hear the audio in the background. I think it's Peter or somebody or Isaac. I don't know who is it. That I could hear myself in the background. Let me see. So yeah, man,
I
nice
got to
work.
care of
Just like Alex says, nice work, man. So okay, guys. So let's get into it. All right. Let's actually get into it. All right. So how was it for you guys working together this week? Who wants to come in and jump in? Somebody jump in, man. Don't be scared.
It's been pretty good, man. Everybody's pretty nice, and we're getting along pretty well so far. We're working pretty hard.
Nice, nice, nice. So who was the lazy one this week?
Now, nobody, man. Everybody's doing their part.
Nobody snitching. All right. You see,
Yeah,
I'm building foundation right now, right? This is how you do it, man. Never snitch, man.
we broke out the project really fast. I think like within 1 week for all the work that we did it really well.
Yeah. No, I think that's one of the best things that it's crazy because I gave you guys the task, right? And then probably the same day you guys almost went right into it and started talking about like, hey, who's gonna set up the gig, who's gonna do this and that, right? And even by the next day, you already had a footer, you had a header, right? Yeah, I pretty much went in straight into it, and that's something that it shows the dedication and shows like, hey, this is something that I really want to do, right? Because a lot of people they miss out opportunities like this, and they just slack, right? I've seen people that you give them the chance and give them the opportunity, and just I don't know, they fumble, right? And this project was pretty legit, man. I'm really proud of what you guys have done in just 1 week. Okay, so that tells you, I mean, in all of this, guys, think about it like this. Everybody who's watching this, like none of these guys worked on this thing full time. So imagine this is what they did on a part-time, the extra hours that they had throughout the week. Imagine what they can do if they were doing 40 hours a week. So every single one of these guys that's here are talented and they really put in the work. Okay. Shout out to everyone. Salazar Manolo would approve. Okay. But yeah, man, this is hot. So tell me, guys, as far as like any problems that you guys faced, anything that you guys went in and it's the first time working as a team, right? So what was like one thing that you would say, oh man, like I didn't expect this, or it was kind of weird, or I enjoyed this, or whatever it might be. How was the experience working as a team?
Um, for me, at first, I felt like I needed a design or something to look at because everyone's working on their own sections. So I felt like we needed a design to make everything look put together. But I started one, in fact, but towards after a few days, I felt like we didn't really need it, and I just realized, like going through this, that you really don't need a design. And I always feel like I need something physical there, but you really don't.
Yeah, no, that's one of the things why I decided to give you guys this project, because like I really wanted to test to see like what's your creative side really like, right? Can you come up with something on your own? Because at the end of the day, that's what's gonna make you different than everybody else, right? Like there's gonna be developers who can code. There's gonna be guys that you put them something here and you tell them what to do, they're gonna build it exactly how you tell them. But the moment you leave them alone and say, hey man, go create something, they're sucking the thumb. They don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want you guys to become that. I want you guys to be completely independent. Like my goal out of this is, like I told you guys, even in the last time that we talked and we did a voice chat, is to make sure I prepare you guys where I could give you a job. And if I can get you a job, I'm going to make sure I go out there and find a company that can give you a job. And at the same time, I want you to be independent where you're leaving out of here with a skill that you can make money on your own, and understand that, hey, you know what? All of those things that I'm doing here as a team, right? I could also do it on my own too. And, you could go in and create your own themes, create your own products, right? And create your own opportunities, and understand that you don't need a designer, right? Like most of the work that I've done, like I never needed a designer. And even like I see a lot of people that hit me up. Like I gave them, I'm working with other developers, like again in the company, that I'm trying to teach them this, right? The fact that you don't need every single design. Like when I worked at companies didn't come in and like let's say a designer come in and say, hey, I got the desktop version, I have the tablet version, I have the mobile size for large mobile devices, I have the small mobile devices. Like this is stuff that you can create on your own. You don't need nobody to come in and give you all of the designs, right? And it's the same thing as here from this website. You're getting ideas from Fashion Nova, but I also told you guys, look at other designs, look at other websites, do your own research, and come back and mesh all that up to create something original, right? And this is like a skill that not a lot of developers have, because nobody really taught them that, and nobody even challenged them to go into creating their own thing. But I'm looking at this and it looks great. Okay, it looks great. A lot of the stuff that I'm seeing, like I can't complain, right? There's a couple of little things here and there that I will change, but at the same time, for this being your first time, like y'all killed it in 1 week, and y'all not even doing this full time. I know people that was doing this type of stuff full time and can't even create this type of level of website. Okay, so you guys are definitely in the right place, right? Shout out to everybody in here. Let me see. Reading through the comments. But again, so anything else, anybody else want to share? How was your experience this week working as a team? Guys, this is a live stream. This is a moment for every single one of you guys to shine. Okay, you don't know who's watching. You don't know who's out here looking at this. Believe it or not, a lot of people watch this channel. Shit, you might get an opportunity from one of the people that own businesses right now and say, hey, I like this individual. I might come in and I could see the work that they're doing. Let me see what they're thinking about, right? And how was their experience. So go ahead and jump in. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start calling names. Okay, Peter, what up? So how was it this week?
I had never worked in a like legit team. Most of the times that I've worked, I've actually just worked on my own or with maybe one or two people, like sporadically, or a designer or something like that. Um, but to be able to do like a full spectrum of a full site with no design and everybody just kind of found a design that was coherent, I think that's pretty. I never seen that happen. Most of the time, it's just like, no, I want to do my thing, or I want to do my thing over here, and I don't like this color. Let me just change the color. And like people, even because I went to code boot camp, and even when I did the code boot camp, like some of the code that was turned in was totally random as to what was supposed to be happening, or like I explained to the rest of the team is like um we learned Angular, right? And some people like submitted code in like pure jQuery or something, like totally falling behind. And here everybody kept up to pace and submitted everything the way it was supposed to. Next is perfect. Even whatever like small little dispute that we had or anything like that, it was poof, ironed out super easy. I really liked working together.
So tell me about that. What was that little dispute? I want to know. I'm nosy. You know what I mean?
Like we had a thing with the bootstrap, and we actually on the Discord we talked about it, because it's like, okay, so we put it in as a dependency, or do we put it in through CDN? And everybody agreed after like, no, well, maybe I should put it as a dependency, or I had put it as a dependency. And then I said, CDN actually works better, because how you explained to us, this is actually something that we're gonna break apart, right? It's like puzzle pieces.
Mhm.
So if you depend on one thing too much, what ends up happening is you can't break it apart, right?
Mhm.
So now thinking about the project differently, how you can make out of one single thing a bunch of different products, you learn that maybe you just compartmentalize everything instead of mixing it all together. You make it sure that you can break it apart later. That's something I didn't know. I don't think all of us were thinking on that spectrum.
Yeah. No, that's one thing that I definitely wanted you guys to learn from this whole experience is like, sometimes you might think, okay, cool. I want to come in and say I'm gonna use Bootstrap or I'm gonna use whatever library it is, and I'm gonna put it through the whole process of like let's say React and Webpack, and now everything is into one bundle, right? Uh, but at the same time, for this type of project, it's better to have everything separate. So we basically given the option to the user to come in and say, you know what, if I want to take this website, right? Because we're gonna go in and each website that we build from a static website, we can go in and put it into WordPress, we could put it into Shopify, we can put it into BigCommerce, we can put it into, you know, there's a couple of other ones I can't remember right now off the back of my head. But at the same time, it's like you want to come in and make that shit open where at any moment we have a template that we could go in and plug it to any type of thing that's out there. Like we could just use Gatsby.js, or we could go in and build a Shopify website from this without having to be a theme. Like now we could go in and use the Shopify front end API, and then from there is basically it's a static website using the Jamstack, right, connecting to the APIs of Shopify. But initially, you want to have something that is just a static website. So then, like that, you could just plug it to whatever it might be. So it's pretty cool that you guys understood that, and you know, and there wasn't really like a pushback because I think everybody understood like exactly what we're trying to build here with 87 Lux, right? Now, if we was gonna build something strictly for like a React project, then yeah, that makes sense. Putting in as a dependency and maybe having components that are specific to Bootstrap, right? But for this example, like it's definitely not needed. So yeah, man, that was pretty cool, man. So how about you, Daniel? What's good? Let me know, Danny. How was your week, Daniel? You gotta loosen up, bro.
Hey, it's good. Uh, yeah, no, my week has been good. Like the first week, like I had to take care of a client's website, so I was kind of like a little behind. But then after I got done with that, I started catching up, and I was actually working on my section before you messaged me. I was like, oh, we are doing the live stream today, so it's like, uh, so now I'm here.
Nah, that's how. That's how. So, how was your week working as a team? What did you like? What you didn't like? You know, did you come in here with any expectations? Were you surprised on anything?
Well, I, uh, I was surprised that the hardest part wasn't the code. It was just like being in sync and uh, just working together and uh, getting our GitHubs merged and all that. So, but there was nothing really. Mm, no, it wasn't too surprising. It's just like it's just work. So.
No, that's not, man. And so,
Mhm.
have you worked on a team before, or this was your first time?
I've worked on school projects, but it's nothing like this, right? Because like with school projects, it's always like it's like two people. There's a third wheel who's like lazy.
Yep.
But here, yeah, here it's like it's been like everybody's been like on top of their stuff. So it's like, wow, I'm like impressed. So
Yeah. No, that's how, man. That's one thing that I was telling my wife this, and I was like, yo, I think I found something, bro. Like, because I
yeah,
told
me
my wife
too.
like straight up, I'm like, yo, I think I found something, like something special here, because everybody here is legit. Like,
Hmm.
there's not nobody here that could be like, well, they dragging him. You get what I'm saying? Or they
Hmm.
dragging her. Like, nah, it's like everybody's pulling their weight and everybody's legit. So I'm like, man, it's gonna be very interesting at the end, like who who we gonna keep. But I want to keep everybody, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
at the same time, I think this is the perfect team right here. Just right now, even if you guys decided, y'all be like, yo, F Joe, we out of here. We starting our own company, we doing our own thing. Y'all already have a team. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, y'all have a solid team right here. Okay. But definitely, man, that's pretty cool. So how about you, Starling? What you thought about this experience?
Uh, yeah, pretty cool. It's like Daniel said. Merging the repo and like I didn't know much about GitHub before this, and that's one thing that I learned doing the last week. doing the repo merging, like pulling and all that stuff. And about the the bootstrap little thing that we had, I was like using React components from Bootstrap to build my part of the site. So I was like, and then I see the guys, talking about CDN and classes. I'm like, oh, wait, what's going on here? And I'm like, then I started chatting with them, and they say that we're using classes and all that. I'm like, okay, so I reorganized my code, started using classes.
Nice, 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 nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. I think, again, like, for anybody that's watching this, and there's probably somebody that's gonna criticize this and say, why are they doing it like this? Aren't we supposed to go and put this through React and make sure everything is just a component and this and that, right? There's always gonna be somebody that's gonna criticize it or not understand the vision. But again, for anybody that's watching this that don't understand this, think about it like this, right? This is just a template. Okay, this is just a template. Every website, doesn't matter, like right now we could take the same website that we have right here and we could go and put it into WordPress, Shopify, Gatsby.js, Next.js. We can put it through Laravel. We could build a custom application with this, right? So we build a foundation where now we can literally reuse this code and put it in a whole bunch of different platforms. Understand this. This is an agency. This isn't a tech company. This isn't a product company, a single product company. Like, let's say if we was working on a single product and this was our store, most likely we would use components and say, hey, let's just use React components, or maybe we might just go in and not even use any React components for like Bootstrap. We will probably just build everything from scratch, right? But this is an agency. We're trying to build a bunch of products from one single template, and that's what the goal is. And this is how you make money. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is no way that you could go around this. We here for the bag, kiddos. Okay, so that's the point. All right, so definitely, I just wanted to. I'm always addressing that one dude that don't have a voice. You know what I mean? The dude that's been blocked. He's been in the block party for 3 years in a row, and he's just in there. And I'm like, I'm always addressing that one dude. It's like, I know what you're about to say right now, kid. You know what I mean? But understand this. There's a reason for it. Okay. How about you, Isaac? You in here?
Yeah, I'm here. I
How
think
was it, man? How was your week?
yeah, I struggle with GitHub and the GitHub pull because I don't know. I did get an error and it was weird because I didn't know how to solve it. But Stack Overflow, and it went well. And yeah, like Starling said, the React Bootstrap dependency that they started at it, and yeah, I think that the discussion was just like any other, but yeah, it was easy to solve it. We just
Okay.
deleted the package, and yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. I like the fact that you admitted to using boot or using Stack Overflow and doing research. Sometimes people always feel like they have to be like the ultimate developers. Like, I never Google anything, right? And then the truth is that everybody Googles something, right? Even if it's to save you time from going into the documentation. Like, if I'm looking for Laravel stuff, like, I know Laravel like the back of my hand, right? But there's certain things that, you know what? I've got to go to the documentation and I'm going to search. Instead of going to the documentation, then go to the request and go to this, and that. I'm going to go in and just Google Laravel request API. That's it. And then that gives me the page and I could just click on it. I don't have to go in and go through the whole process of finding it on the documentation. It brings me right to it. Okay. I saw this on Twitter. Actually, like yesterday or the night before, some girl was saying, and shout out to her, right? She was like, man, I don't know why people always making jokes like, every developer Googles, right? Or Googles their code or whatever it might be, right? And she's like, when was the last time that people actually put some pride or something like that, like into their code of like being able to write everything on their own. And I'm like, nobody does that. It's 2021. Why would you go in and spend time on things, right, that you could go in and speed up your process, and you're learning it, and then now the next time that you're gonna do that project or whatever task it is, now you have the answer, you know it, right? Why would you go in and just spend 3 hours trying to figure out something when in reality it's like, okay, look at what's out there, you get what I'm saying, and learn from it. You actually learn quicker, right, and faster. And at the end of the day, there's too many things to learn in development, okay, especially in web development. Every single day something new comes out. If you spend your life trying to memorize all of this like it was a spelling bee, you're gonna go crazy. Okay, nobody does that. The guys that is on the top, the guys that work at the major companies, the guys that's creating the libraries, the guys that's creating your favorite framework, they're Googling. So what makes you think that you're special and you're like, I'm never gonna Google nothing, I'm just gonna figure it out on my own? And it's like, yeah, that's why you're in that position. The guys
Yeah,
that smart, they're moving different. You get what I'm saying? That's
yeah,
just how it is, right? Shout out to everybody in here. Let me see who else we got in here. So we got Peter, we got Patricia. So tell me, what page did you guys build? Patricia, what page you actually worked on? I know you started with the header and the footer.
Yeah, I worked on the header and the footer, and then today actually I started adding not really a page but a cart slide. So when you click on the cart icon, it'll slide out a section with whatever's on your cart.
Okay. Oh, nice. Cool, cool, cool. See, and this is things that I didn't even tell them to do, right? I like that you guys are actually putting in the extra work and just coming up with your ideas and understanding e-commerce, and understand like, hey, what's the next thing? Because those are things that I was actually gonna tell you this week, right? So it's like you're already jumping on it. You're like, you already know what's coming next. So that's great, man. I'm super happy for that. But yeah, man, that's what's up. So you worked on this section. You did the header, the footer, and what other page again? Did you do the landing page or?
No, that was
Okay,
someone else.
okay. Cool. How
I
about
did the
you?
homepage.
How about you, Starling? What you built?
I did the blog post, the blog page, and the product page.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you basically you did this page. Okay. Pretty nice. Okay. Let me see. You did the
blog post.
page and the product page, right? Let me see if I remember what was the URL for that. Product. All right, cool. So you basically knocked out 3 pages this
Yeah, I
week.
added some JavaScript for the pictures. So if you click on them, you can see them.
Okay. All right. So you basically did. I forgot the name of this. This is
Modal.
light. It's like a
Yeah,
light box.
model.
At some point they used to call it light box. I don't know what do the cool kids call this now. This is there a new word for this? At some point they used to call this light box. So, so I don't know what people call it. Let me see if somebody got it in the live stream. What do you call this feature? Let me see. For those of you guys that are brand new developers, that are the hipsters, right? What do you call this? This is at some point used to be called a light box. Now, what do people call it? Right? Maybe a pop-up. I don't know. Joe handpicked the photos. Nah, everything here I left it to them. I let them actually go in and figure it out on their own, right? This right here was just for them to be creative. In the next project, we already have the design, and I'm just gonna give them everything that they need to build. But this is like really to test them out and see what they can build on their own. Okay, somebody says a modal, right? Bootstrap, have to bootstrap they call it modal. Some people might say it's an overlay. Okay, nice. All right, cool. Let's see who else. Isaac. So what do you build?
I did the homepage.
Homepage. Okay, there we go. Okay, nice. I'm just showing it again for the people that haven't seen it and they just got here right now. You know what I mean? Now, is this working or this is just the images? The
Just the images. Or what do you mean by working?
meaning as far as like, is this from Instagram? Or are you using the Instagram API, or no? This is still just static files.
I wanted to use the API, but I talked to Patricia and she told me just to keep it simple and just add the images.
No,
But
that's
yeah,
cool. So that's cool. So that's basically gonna be your project for this week to figure that out. There's a whole bunch of ways that you could do it. Um, but yeah, definitely that could be like a good challenge, right? Because I know some of you guys might be like, you know what, man, this was just static website, right? We worked a little bit with some JavaScript here and there, right? But now I want to challenge myself, right? So if you want to challenge yourself, you might want to go in and challenge yourself and try to actually pull in from Instagram, basically using their API. And if you really want to go the extra mile, try to build one for TikTok. Okay, if you really want to challenge yourself. Okay, TikTok also has an API, and it has ways where you could get the videos from the user. Okay, so that would be
yeah,
cool.
okay. I'll give it a try.
Yeah, definitely. Let me see who else is in here. Peter. So, what do you do, Peter?
I actually got the contact page, which was a little bit trickier because I really was thinking of maybe just putting like an address form or anything. But since we had said that it would be mostly for like YouTubers, a lot of YouTubers don't like to share that. So I said most likely just like a contact form. And then I remembered how you like to say make the money with the actual affiliate. So I've put it in the affiliate link right there, so you can become an affiliate, make some of that extra
Mhm.
money, of course.
Okay, nice, nice. It's legit. I mean, I would say you should make this whole section here its own page. That could be the affiliate page. Keep it simple, right? And then just keep the contact right here. Also, to try to put in some input fields here, like some information. You know, because right now it's just blank input fields. Like I don't know what is this. Also, to put in the names, like as far as the input fields to make sure. Okay, text, input type text, last name, email, country, comments. Now another thing, let me see. So you got placeholders, but I can't see the placeholders. So it could be something with the colors. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, but definitely I would just put in some labels. Sometimes we want to use placeholders, and that's fine. But I think on this page it will look better with actual labels. Shout out to PJ for the $5. How much is that in dollars? That's probably like $7, man. Thank you for that, man. Shout out to my people in the UK killing it. Okay, we'll throw that $5 as a tip for the kids. You know what I mean? Y'all could split that up $1 a pop. Hey man, I'm joking, man. Shout out to everybody in here. I'm just looking through the comment section just to see if anybody got a question. If anybody got a question here for any of the guys in here, let me know. I'll put your question here on the live stream. Okay.
I
And,
believe I saw a question earlier for Patricia.
oh yeah. What did they say? Like,
I think asking her about experience as a lead.
oh
That's,
yeah, that's a good question. So, how was your experience, Patricia, as a lead on this project? I mean, this is like your team, this is your squad, right? So, and at the same time, if anybody else wants to take that spot for the next project, you could always go in and switch it up because you want to have this experience. Some of you guys that might say, I don't know if I got time, I don't know if I want to do this, I don't know if I want that responsibility. This is how you learn, guys. Like, put yourself in uncomfortable positions, and then you're gonna actually shine. Okay. So, how was it, Patricia? How was your experience going through this?
Yeah, that's a great question. Uh, as for me, like the administrative side of things isn't bad. So I've done administrative type work, so keeping organized, and things like that, it comes easy for me. But one interesting thing that I got out of this is like when you're a team lead, although this is a simple project, but I'm imagining like in a more complex project, it's not about you anymore. Um, when you're leading a team, you have to find like a balance between like your individual contributions and also manage like the overall productivity of the entire team. Um, so there's that, um, and also be more trusting of other people's decisions, or not just rely on your own solutions because I'm so used to working on my own, but also encourage team decisions in a way. So like when we have like little, like they say, disputes on the Discord chat for whatever reason, um, I like having that dialogue. So
Nice, nice, nice.
yeah, for the first week.
Yeah, no, that's one thing that you're gonna notice when you're leading a team. Like I'm the guy that I never want to lead at all. I don't want the responsibility. I always find myself that I end up being in that position, but I don't like it. One, because I'm always expecting the best out of everybody. And then sometimes, like right now, you guys in a really good team. Everybody wants to do their work, everybody wants to knock things out. In real life, when you work at companies, there's people that just literally they're just eating up the time. And you're in your head, you're like, oh, I'm trying to really knock this project out and I'm really want to jump into the next one. Like you're excited about whatever it is that you're building. There's situations where you work in a team and there's people that's just looking at this as as a job, just like, okay, I'm just putting in my time. I put in my little 2 hours from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock. The whole day I'm just coasting. So you as the leader, you start taking those things personal. You're like, hey man, like I'm actually working hard. Get your shit together, right? So luckily you guys are not going through that in this project, but in real life, that's how it is. And then on top of that, there's the pressure of the business owner or the project manager or whoever it might be, or even other teams that are depending on your work. So, like, let's say, for example, imagine if you had to build this whole website, right? And then from there is a real company. So then now there's people that have jobs that are depending on your work. So let's say, for example, if you're not able to sell products, they might let go some of the guys that do customer service. Or if you don't get to finish the I don't know, the marketing pages by a certain deadline, now you got the designers that are barking at you because it's like, hey man, and then the marketing guys, they're also barking at you, putting that pressure on top of you of like, what happened? What happened with your team? You don't have control of your team. You get what I'm saying? So it's a lot of pressure that you get put on top of you, especially when you're leading a team, So, and even at that, even for guys who do like project management, excuse me, I've met a couple of guys who started as developers and then transitioned to becoming project managers, and literally it becomes crazy because usually the project manager has a task to do or a project to do, and then he has to work with the designers, the developers, the copywriters, so to make sure that all of these things get done at a certain timely manner, and the weakest link could bring down the whole project. So when you're leading something and you're leading the team, it just like really like it's one of those situations where you're like, man, you're taking it on you, and anything that goes wrong, it kind of falls on you. You get what I'm saying? And at the same time, just like you said, where you want to go in and trust everybody, but that doesn't always happen. It's rare that you're gonna fall into a good team where everybody's gonna work hard or everybody's gonna do their job on a timely manner. And then at the same time, like another thing that you mentioned, which was what's your contribution of the project? Sometimes when you're the leader, right, in this situation, like I said, because you have a good team, right? You worked on, I don't know exactly what pages you did, the header, the footer, the cart section, right? But imagine this. Imagine if right now Isaac was like a fuck up, right? Isaac's like, well, Isaac on the weekend does coke and shows up at 10 o'clock in the morning, right? And sorry, Isaac, I just threw you under the bus.
Yeah, no problem.
Right? And so but this is things that happen in real life, right? So Isaac shows up whenever he wants at work, right? Everybody's depending on his code, on his project, or on his task, right? Because when you're working as a team, everything is depending on each other. And then now you as the leader, you got a deadline. So now you're gonna have to do your work and his work. And then if everybody else is slacking, you still got to go in and try to knock out as much as you can from their other sections. So it's a lot of pressure that you get in real life. That's why for me, when I worked at companies, I hated when they go in because I always finish my work and I always put in my time. I always make sure that I did my projects. So then business owners, right? The owner, the project manager, they see that and they're like, oh, so he likes to work. So let's throw him to the wolves. And hey, man, could you get this team in order? Or hey, Joe, can you help out as junior developers? And it's like guys that just graduated from a boot camp, not knocking anybody who went to boot camp. But a lot of times people get hired at companies and like they finagle their way in. Meaning like, oh, they could do the algorithms, or hey, they got the nice little hair to the side, and hey, man, I actually went to your same high school, and this and that. Like, there's shit that happens that this is why I tell people, like, just apply to jobs. You never know when you're gonna get one, right? There's people that are not qualified to be working at companies, and somehow they're in there, and then now they're part of your team, and now this person's getting paid $10,000 less than you, and you actually busted your ass to get to this position. But this dude is like, he just in there with his head to the side doing the Justin Bieber and just like, well, on Friday I'm going out to skateboard with my friends, and we're gonna go to this bar. Do you want to go, Joe? I'm like, nah, bro, I got shit to do. I gotta pick up your slack now. You get what I'm saying? So there's situations like that when you work in real companies, and you're like, man, now I'm stuck with this because they put that pressure on you to become the lead, and it comes with certain responsibilities, right? So me, I never like doing it, right? I never like it. I'm like, I don't want to, if I was in a team like you guys have a solid team, great. But most of the time, they're like, all right, cool. Joe will finish it, right? So it's like they'll throw the guys that's like I'll never forget this. The reason I mentioned that some guy doing coking and stuff like that, because that was like a real situation for me. There's a guy that shows up every morning like this, like, so what we doing, Joe? And I'm like, you can't be coming in here like that. And I'm like, because I'm a cool dude, so they feel comfortable with me. And I'm like, now I got to do this guy's work. But yeah, man, sometimes when you're the leader, it kind of sucks, but at the same time, it's also fulfilling, and it's also a way to get to the top. There's other opportunities that you could get to right away because you could really shine as the leader of a team. All right. But yeah, man. Just reading through this thing. Mickey Adams, I don't know, what's your questions? Says Mickey Adams says, how can I join the team? Hey, maybe for the next month, maybe a month, 2 months from now, whatever it might be. If any of these guys, we get them into a job right away, or I get to give them an offer right away, whatever it might be, or one of those guys just say, hey, Joe, I'm out of here. You know what? I'll pull some of you guys from the crowd, and you could just jump in and hop on the next team. Okay. So definitely, stay in the lookout for that. Okay. Let me see. Let's see. But I said, how you do the mega menu? How do you do the mega menu? So for the menu, that you get to finish it, you build it with HTML, CSS, how I told you, or you did JavaScript. How you knock that out, Patricia?
Yeah, at first I had to use JavaScript because the mega menus weren't children of the navigations at first. But like we talked about when we had our Discord chat, you suggested that it's better to use CSS if I could. So I had to move the mega menus to be children of the navs in order to target the menus to show up when you hover over.
Nice. Yeah, you basically you listened to exactly what I told you, and you knocked it out, right? Some people they struggle with like little things like this, and this isn't hard, right? But I know some people, I've told them, hey, do this with CSS, and they'll be like, wait, what? I can't use JavaScript for this? As if this is hard. Like, this is easy, right? So I'm happy that you knocked that out and you did exactly how I told you. And it's just because it's gonna be so much easier. Like I said, if we wanted to go and put this project, right, like all of these menus, everything that you guys see here, okay. By the way, for everything that you guys are seeing on this website, from the menu to the sections here, this jumbotron, this products columns in here, this two column layout, etc. All of this is gonna be dynamic, meaning that each section is gonna be broken down to its own, basically its own component. Okay, when you really think about it. So if I'm using Laravel, right, and if I'm using Laravel and I wanted to create this menu for my application, and I want to go in and show the links of each section that we are seeing here, all I have to do is run a for loop, right? Run a for loop for these things. Now, if we was to make this with JavaScript and we was to go in and say, okay, we're gonna build this with JavaScript, right? In that situation, maybe if, let's say for example, if we did it, because you could do it with JavaScript and it still be fine if it's like vanilla JavaScript. But let's say somebody comes in and says, oh, I want to use React. What's the next step? Now this person got to go in, create a route for the API, create basically an API route for this menu, and then from there has to do a request to the server to then pull up all of the links, right? Instead of just doing a simple for loop in the template language, right? Or a template engine, right? So with Laravel, you could just use Blade and then you basically loop over each one of these links. Okay. So at the same time, like we're gonna give the option to the user to go in and decide which type of menu that you have here. Like I'm happy that you came in and also created different variations of this. So all of this that we're seeing here, like as you can see, this one has like a couple of links here, right? And then it has a couple of images here of the products. Then in here you have one that has a couple of links here, and then it has columns of a whole bunch of different links. Same thing from here. And then this one looks different too. It has like two columns here of links, and then it has a big image here. Like all of this is things that you could give options to the user. This is what people like. This is what people actually buy. They come in, they want to have the option to go in and choose what type of menu they might have, and to customize it as much as they can. Now imagine if we just had this one single type of mega menu, so we could say, right? Like maybe the person wouldn't buy this theme. Maybe they'll be like, this is the only option we got, right? You get what I'm saying? Like, can we be a little bit more creative, right? So I'm happy that you came in and put in the extra time to create all of these different variations. Okay, it looks really good, especially that you use CSS just for this. Okay, reading through this. Somebody says, Manuel Ling, when selling web design to customers, what is the best option? Host their websites on your own website, hosting account with a hosting company. I mean, you're still gonna have to use a hosting company regardless, bro. But yeah, somebody says, Damon, she a beast. Yeah, Patricia's pretty good, man. I'm really happy to have her in the team and to be able to knock out all of these things. Okay. And yeah, she's going, the extra mile and is working pretty good with this team that she already has here. So yeah, man, it's legit. Okay. So for those of you guys in the comment section, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Okay. I don't want to take too much time of these guys, precious time. Some of them, they're up right now late because we came in here late, right? So I don't want to go in and keep them for too long. So I want to make sure that if you guys have any questions in the comment section, let's get into it right now. And yeah, man. So what do you guys think about this whole project so far? Do you guys enjoy it? You guys are having fun with it? Y'all learning things? Y'all could jump in, guys. Go ahead.
I think right now we got through the basic sectionals, like everything, kind of breaking it down. I think the fun part's gonna actually make it work. That's gonna be the fun part.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's gonna be for sure the fun part, especially when once you start putting in logic, once you go in. I think uh the next step will be for you guys. What I will say is, going and polish up everything, right? So the reason why I say polish it up because it's gonna be harder for you to go back. So like let's say for example if we go in and for next week we say, hey guys, I want you guys to start trying to convert this either to WooCommerce or try to convert this to Shopify, right? It's going to be harder to go roll back and be like, well, now let's go in and try to fix this as we go. And it's better to just have like a polished project as far as like the static site. So like that could be easier. And then on your next project, you're not focusing on fixing anything. Everything is already fixed. You know what I'm saying? Like now you can focus on the back end things, like as far as like Shopify creating the theme or setting up WordPress and then converting it into a WooCommerce. You don't want to go in and be like worry about HTML, CSS, and a little bit of JavaScript, right? You don't want to be focusing on that later on. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
I was
but
thinking about creating, variations for the uh, product page because since we're gonna have shoes, pants, t-shirts. The one that I have right now is for pants, but you also need for t-shirts and all that. So I'm probably gonna knock that out in the next couple of days.
Now, what I would say is, as far as variation, um, don't focus on like the product itself, right?
Hmm.
Don't focus on the product itself because you already have everything that you need, right? So, like right here, this is the. Let me share this to the people. Let me see, where is it? Let's see, how can I share this? Share screen. Okay, so right here, as you can see, right, this is fine. Don't worry about these things, right? Don't worry about, oh, this is pant waist, pant whatever. Like, yeah, this thing is in circles, okay? But think about it like this. Most companies, what they're gonna have is small, extra small, large, right? And then from there, you're gonna have some numbers. So pretty much, you already know that this could work with numbers. If it's like extra small, uh, or like large or double XL, whatever it might be, like you're fine. The only thing I would say for this is just make the number smaller. Okay, make the number smaller. So think of this like this: if you could fit in here, the perfect size of this will be if you could fit in like 2XL. If you could fit a 2XL, then you're fine. Like, yeah, and that's fine right there. Okay. Maybe the text make it just a little bit smaller, just so it could be a little bit better. But this doesn't have to be a perfect circle. So don't go crazy. Be like, well, I gotta make this a perfect circle. Nah, no, it doesn't.
I'm not
Because
gonna waste too much time on that.
yeah, you don't have to. Okay. Because even here, if somebody comes in, if the user decides to go in and says, hey, I want this to say small, like this still looks good. You get what I'm saying? Like if instead of saying S, they decide to use the full word, like this still looks good. Or let's say extra large, right? Like the way how you built this, it still looks good. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I built it with the wrapper like fitting the content. So it's
Yeah.
all if it changes, it's gonna change with the content.
Yeah, exactly. So that's good. You did it pretty good. So everything here is good. Now, if you wanted to create a variation of this page, then
Okay.
yeah, I would say create another variation for this. So again, we could go to themeforest.net and look at some example here. So let's say Shopify. Okay, give me 1 second. So let me see, where is it? Page layout. Da. I'm just gonna click on this one. Uh, Shopify. I think this is a bad example, but basically you could go in and look at other ones. I think maybe Wikipedia. Is it Wiki? This one, Wiki. Okay, there you go. So they have like different examples of how they have like different type of pages of like of the product page. So you could go in and look at those examples that they've done. Like this guy's they just they're already like the number one theme on Theme Forest, but now they just added like a whole bunch of different type of landing pages. So they're definitely doing their thing. But again, as you can see, like this is one example that you could say, okay, look how simple they made it, right? Where you could simplify that whole look of this. Okay. So instead of having it like this with the product here and then having multiple images of the product there, you could do something like that where it's just like one big picture of the product, and then you could have like multiple pictures down here of the product itself. Okay. Same thing. Let me see another one. Click on product of the week. Okay. So as you can see how this one has it right here. So instead of having it at the bottom, make a variation of having all of the images like this stacked up right next to it. And then somebody could come here and just click up and down and they'll see the rest of the images. Okay. So you could call this basically, let me see, where is it? I think I lost it. Okay. So this could be like horizontal extra images, and then you could have a vertical extra images. You get what I'm saying? So that right there is a variation of this page, and like you don't have to go too crazy, okay? But things like that you might want to do, or maybe instead of having the description here, have a full page of the product, right? And then take the description, put it at the bottom, almost very similar to what you did for the blog page, right? Where you have the image on the top and then the text at the bottom. You could do the exact same thing where you have the full image on top, and then at the bottom you have the instead of having multiple columns, you just have everything stacked up in one column. You can. So you could basically do that, and that would be a nice variation of this page. Now let me see the collections before we get out of here. So who did the collections again?
Me.
Oh, Daniel. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So as far as the collections, I think everything here is good. It's very nice. Now, have you tried adding more text to this?
Text like at the top, or
No,
because in
just right here,
the
just to test it out.
yeah, I did. It's like fixed sizes, so that's why like when you look at those two over there, they have like different.
Yeah. So
There's a limit to it.
okay. So there's a thing, I forgot the name of it, where you could go in and basically, I forgot the name of it, but with CSS it'll throw like
Like
three
the
little
content?
dots. You get what I'm saying?
Oh,
So in your head, like let's say for example, because this looks great, but knowing how the user is, right? You want to limit them. So you could do it through, whatever backend it is, or whatever templated language. But it's so much easier if you control everything through CSS, because then now you don't have to go in and do the same things on WooCommerce and doing it on Shopify, then doing it on whatever platform, right? So there's a way to go in. I can't remember the word. I don't know if it's like ellipsis or something like that.
You said three dots.
Truncate.
Which one?
Truncate. Sure.
Yeah, it's
Oh, I
truncate.
see. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like truncating
Okay.
the
Okay.
text. So if
Okay.
like let's say if you're expecting this section here to be a maximum of 2 lines of code,
Mhm.
or 2 lines of text, then there's a way to go in with
Okay.
CSS where you could go in and say, okay, the maximum size of this area is 2 lines, and then anything that goes beyond that, it would just show up as 3 dots. So
Okay.
that's like a little trick. I just can't remember. I've done it a million times, and this is why Google is your friend. It's like there's times you've done things that you just can't remember it from the back of your mind, but you know the concept, you know the thing that you have to do, right? So this is why Google is legit because it's impossible to remember every single little thing here. You know what I'm saying? Even me that I've been doing this for like freaking 9 years, like it's hard for me to remember every single thing and be like, hey, I know every single line of code. It's like, nah, no, I don't. I know concepts. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Somebody said scroll auto. No, I don't think so. I don't think that's scroll auto. You're bugging. What that's gonna do if you put a scroll auto there, what that's gonna do is most likely is gonna make this be able to scroll. We don't want it to scroll. We just want it to show basically 3 dots at the end to let the user know, excuse me, that there's a bigger description there. Okay. That's a little homework. If you guys want to go in and if you guys want to go and find that out, that's definitely text overflow ellipsis could be, right? Could be that. So you could check it out.
Yeah, that's the
Um,
one. Text overflow ellipsis.
yeah, I can't remember everything. So it might be it. Okay. Shout out to Code for Caffeine. I'm curious about the task assignment. How do you determine who did what for this project since you didn't have a clear design? That was a good question too. So she's curious about the task assignment. How do you guys determine who was gonna do what on this project?
It
Or
was just
I just
calling dibs.
decided, hey
Yeah.
guys,
Yeah.
well, what page you want to do, and everybody just chose a page.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically we just had everybody go on the Asana board with all the pages that were required and just comment what page or pages they'd like to work on
Yeah,
first.
it was basically first come, first serve.
Yeah.
Okay, nice, nice, nice. Let me see. So I'm reading through here. Da, da, da. I'm just reading. I'm trying to see if there's any other questions before we head out and let you guys go. I'll probably hang out here for a little bit. Um, but if you guys definitely want to head out, I know it's a little bit past your bedtime. I'm looking at Patricia. Patricia's over here like, yo, past my bedtime. I need to go to sleep. Nah, I'm joking. But yeah, man. Like I said, guys, I really appreciate that you guys came through and hanged out with me and showed the people exactly what you guys have been working on. As you guys can see, there's definitely a couple of things that I'm gonna let you guys know probably this week through the Discord. The things that you guys should work on and change just to make it a little bit better, just to polish it up. But pretty much you guys killed it, man. And in 1 week's time to do all of this is legit in the fact that everything seems cohesive, like everything just works together, right? Like it don't look like, well, this guy is at a level of you know he has like 6 months of experience, and then this guy worked on this thing and it looks like a little baby built it. Like everybody look like they were working in the same project, and as if there was already a design. Like there is no design, right? Somebody mentioned before, well, Fashion Nova is the design, but Fashion Nova is the inspiration, right? There's people that I could give them a website and say, hey guys, go to ign.com, build me another IGN, but come up with something original. And they still wouldn't be able to find their way to create something like this, right? So we have to give credits to the interns because they killed it. And at the same time, a lot of the things that they added here is original on itself. And they did exactly what I told them to do, which was find different websites, find different designs, find different sites that's out there that's doing e-commerce, and bring back those features and mesh them together and make sure that it works. Okay, for the next project, of course, there's gonna be a design, and we're gonna be working on a couple of cool things. But this right here, this is what was gonna come in and you know put that little bug in their brain of like, oh, I could do this myself. And this is like what I wanted to do. I wanted that at the end of this project, you guys understood that even if somebody comes in, like I give you an example, right? If you wanted to come up with an application, or you wanted to come up with a project, or you wanted to do anything, right? Doesn't matter what it is, right? All you have to do is go to dribble.com. And I've been saying this for years, right? You go to dribble.com, you find 5 different projects, right? Like I could come in here and say, you know what? I like this, right? I like the color scheme of this. Okay. Then from there, I could come in and say, you know what? I want to look for application. Okay. Use that, those colors that we got from there. Oh, I like this type of color or this type of layout. Take the layout that's there, come up with, let's say, a restaurant. Okay. And then now, just with that, those 3 different designs, that one and basically a landing page similar to this, and the color schemes that we got from those icon, you mesh them up together, and then now you have a great looking website, and it's something original. Now, some people might say, well, are you copying from this design and this and that? Every designer, I went to school for design, right? Every designer basically does the same thing. Even the best designer in the world, they go outside, they look at the sky, they look at the flower, they look at everything that you're seeing, right? They find inspiration from. When you look at the certain type of designs that's happening with web development, there's a reason why all the websites you might say, oh, I could see similarities here, similarities there, is because everybody is being influenced by each other. Okay, just because you're a developer doesn't mean that you can't do the same thing. And once you understand those things, now you're going to be able to build your own projects on your own without needing a designer. And one of the main reasons why I wanted to do this is because at an agency, there's going to be times where we don't have the time to go in and be like, hey guys, I gotta get you the designer to build you the website, and I'm also gonna build the mobile version. I'm also gonna build the tablet version. I'm also gonna build the extra large desktop version. Nah, as a developer and you understand how user experience works and you know how to make this thing responsive, you should be able to come up with your own ideas. Okay, from one single picture. If I come here, for example, right? If I come here and I look at this website and I give you this main design, okay, which is just this, you should be able to come up with all of the other pages for this website without having to even have it in your hands. You don't need a designer to tell you how to do a contact page. You don't need a designer to tell you how to do a menu. You don't need a designer to tell you how to make it in mobile, right? You can do this yourself. You've been to the web. You've been to enough websites where you know how this shit works and you could do it on your own. So this project basically accomplished that. And I'm happy that you guys, yeah, freaking knocked it out the park, right? Y'all killed it, right? Y'all came up with your own thing and definitely did a great job, man. All right, guys. So for sure, we're going to do another meeting. We're going to try to do it at 11, not 11, damn, at 9 o'clock every Wednesday. I want to do it at 9 o'clock every Wednesday with you guys so we could update the people and let people know exactly what's going on. And at the same time, if you guys start getting offers and start getting jobs, whatever it might be, I want people to be able to keep track of this and be like, damn, I saw them a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Now look at the level that they're at. Now they're applying to jobs. Now they're getting opportunities here, whatever it might be. You get what I'm saying? Like, I want people to look at your work and look at the progression and the type of things that you're building as you're doing this internship. Okay, so definitely, guys, thank you for coming through, and I'll see you guys next week, man. All right, guys. Take care, guys. All right, guys. I'm gonna see you guys later. Take care. I'm gonna be right here live. I'm gonna get back to the peoples. Okay, so thank you for coming through. All right, guys. Yeah, we here. Okay. Shout out to Bro Trippin. Bro Trippin is like, yo, looking forward to seeing the rest. Very impressive and promising. Yes. Yeah, Dig 69 says, thanks, brother. Love what you're doing. This is so important. You're making an impact. Hey, that's what we're trying to do, right? We've been doing this for a long time. We started with the mentorship program like 3 years ago. Okay. A lot of the people that came in through the mentorship program, every single one of them work. Okay. Some of the people that came into the second mentorship program, some of them work, some people gave up, right? Uh Manolo and Christine, we don't know where they at. God bless them. I hope that they're doing good, right? But we've been doing this for a while, man. We trying to help people out, and the goal is to give you that first experience as a developer, because when you're learning at home and you're just learning through courses and tutorials and crash courses and whatever it might be, right? Like you never get to experience this, to work in a team and to work on real projects and have deadlines and things like that. Okay. So yeah, somebody said, can we see the website again? Yeah, we can see the website again. You want to see the website or you want to see the baddies?